that brings us to the man of the hour. That's you, Phil. You're defending Olympia champion and now two-time Mr. Olympia, the Gift, Phil Heath. Microphone, Phil. Come on. This ain't your first rodeo. Well, Phil, we sat here last year as you won your first standout trophy from your good friend Jay Cutler. Jay obviously out of the lineup this year, but I would think everybody would agree probably the closest fought Olympia battle. And I was just talking to a few of the media guys earlier, trying to figure out when the last time we had such a close Olympia battle on our hands. And most people go all the way back to 2001 with our good friend Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman. That going down to the wire. A lot of people having Jay winning that one, but that was then, and this is now, Phil, your hardest fought battle. How tough to retain the standout?
It was very, very tough. You know, my hat goes off to Greene. You know, he definitely brought, from what I saw, his best package of all time. And you know, that's the coolest part about being the champ, is that you get to see everybody gunning for you, and you know that they're going to give you their best effort. So at the end of the day, when you do win, you beat them at their best. And you know, like I said, I have a lot of respect for what he was able to do. He came in really tight, really sharp, and you know, definitely I felt, you know, Friday, you know, it was he gave me a lot. He gave me a lot to handle for sure. And then, you know, I felt, you know, Saturday I tightened up and got forward actually, and you know, made it more of a fight. And he brought out the best in me, and you know, I just, you know, I'm very excited that obviously I won, but I know it's not over. You know, we've got shooting next week, and I'm sure he's pissed. I know the feeling.
After he gets that meeting, he'll be pissed.
I know the feeling. You know, I placed third, I placed fifth, I placed second. And, you know, it's an interesting feeling, you know, being second, because you think all you got to do is just get one step higher. Well, you know, it's my job to make sure that this is happening, because I know he's a very hard worker. You know, I know that he's, you know, going to be in that gym, and hey, you know, it's going to bring the best out of me. So I will thank him in advance. But ultimately, you know, it was just a great battle. You know, I think even, you know, I checked my phone early this morning at 6 a.m. when I was walking in, and you know, a lot of what the fans were saying, and I'm sure you guys would agree, is that it was just like one of the most entertaining instrument that we've had, and it was because of guys like Branch, Ty, Wolf, all these guys, and him too. Come on. Him too. Congrats to Flexitron actually, because I actually mentioned to him as he placed third that I got to feel that same feeling placing third at my first Olympia too. So don't worry, I got him in my radar too, because I know he's a good rival. That's the cool thing about this whole experience, is that, you know, I get to see everybody at their best, and I feel like, you know, I'm bringing that out of people. And because, let's face it, I mean, you know, that's what Mr. Olympia does. He brings out the best in everyone. And essentially, you know, it's just going to make me try harder and be smarter about how I do everything. And hopefully I can continue to improve. I'm only 32 years old, one of the youngest guys on the scene. And I know I have a lot of, you know, bodybuilding left. But I just got to be smart and work my butt off continuously and not make mistakes, because, like Flex Lewis said, I mean, you make mistakes, I mean, you get knocked off, no question about it.
No question there. Phil, let me ask you, last year, the demeanor on stage for you was one of confidence, even as you faced Jay Cutler in defending his championship. This year, it seemed to be more aggressiveness. I think people saw a little different side of Phil Heath that they weren't looking to see, but you were taking ownership of that stage and made it look like that was your territory. You didn't want to give up the center light, even though the judges kind of kept trying to move you over, but you said, no, I'm staying right here.
I mean, that's what champions do, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I had to realize that I am Mr. Olympia, like, and what would Mr. Olympia do? I mean, it's almost like a thing like, well, what would Jay do, or what would Ronnie Coleman do? I'm like, they'd push anyone out of the way to get that title, man. And it's true. It's no disrespect to anyone. It's just the fact that if you want something in life, you have to be willing to kill for it, right? I mean, if you really want something that only 13 people have had in their entire life, in the entire bodybuilding history, only 13 people have got one of these. So in order for me to get another one of these, I have to be willing to damn near die for it. And I was pushing my limit. And it, like I said, it had nothing to do with dislike for anybody or anything like that. I just wanted it bad enough, and I think you guys were able to see it. You know, when you want something you never had before, you will definitely do something you've never done before. And that's what I did last night, and I was awarded first place. Because I definitely will tell you this, if I would have stayed the same, like coasting through like I did Friday, being super nice and everything, I would have lost. No question about it. Because the last thing I heard on Friday was that, oh, it's not being aggressive. It's not, and I was like, oh, okay, you'll see. But, you know, it's just, I just want it. You know, I'm not stupid, guys. I mean, I know where I'm at. I'm 32 years old. I've only been bodybuilding for, it'll be 10 years, October 8th. Okay? A lot of these guys have been doing it for twice as long. I've got a long longevity, and I'm not going to sit here and brag and say that I'm going to win a string of Sandown. The only way I can even put myself in a position to do that is if I want it more than anyone else. And I tell you what, having guys like Lance Warren, Greene, Dennis Wolf, they all say the same thing. They want it more than anything in their life. And for a long time, I didn't really have that sense of urgency. But you got to see it last night. So now we're on the same page. And it's going to be fun for everybody. It's going to be exciting for the Olympia next year, I'm sure. There's going to be a ton of hype. It's Phil going to do this. I'm going to act like Dr. Phil right now. It's Phil going to repeat. Where's Greene going through the predator and come kill him? Wait a minute, is that supposed to be me? So I get this, man. It's going to be freaking exciting. And obviously, I'm smiling because I'm having a great time.
That's a terrible invitation of me.
Hey, but you're turning red though, so I got you. I didn't hear it. Yeah, I didn't just say it. Oh, it's definitely coming back. Absolutely. Thank you very much. But you know, I'm trying to be somewhat comical and stuff, but in all seriousness, I just want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for supporting all of us. Last night, it was just one of the coolest experiences I could say for the guys that competed in the Open. For us to be able to have a pose there and actually jump around in the crowd, who wants to see that next year? It was really cool, and you got to see a little bit of competitiveness with all of us, and a little bit of camaraderie at the same time. And I think it was fun for me too. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and maybe next year they'll do it again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's me imitating Phil Heath, imitating me as we go to the Texas Titan Branch Warren. Actually, that wasn't a bad imitation, fellas. All right, well, certainly always one of the fan favorites. Of course, we make up nicknames all the time for Branch just because it's fun to do. But Branch, obviously, you came into this show expecting to give Phil that run for the money, and like you said before, you'll die trying, just as Phil says. You got to be willing to die for it. You've gone on record many times saying this is the only title I've got left. I've got one order of business left for Phil, and I will get that title if it kills me. Well, you came up a little bit short, but obviously not short on aggression yourself out there and giving it your all. Like I said, you gave it 100%.
Well, first I'd like to say congratulations to my good friend Flex. I know I've actually won the title, man. Congratulations, baby. Maybe one of the hard-fought battles. Congrats. And most of all, I want to say thank you to you guys. All the love you showed me this weekend, and supporting this really big competition. Without you guys, we wouldn't be up here. So thank you. As far as the contest goes, one bad day or nothing. Pick man, that's a bad day. That doesn't mean it sucks, man. It means you had a bad day. So let me go come back and we'll be good, and I'll be back to, trust me, I've gone through much worse circumstances. We come back rebounded for victories, So, obviously I didn't get what I wanted. I wanted that last week battle for the victory, but I was off a little bit. I'm not pissing anybody, I'm just pissing myself. When you make one mistake or something, and like I said in the press conference, man, you don't come in 100%, you're gonna fall from places. I think I'm 100%. I felt a few places. You know, you didn't see me my best. I'll be back next year. I'll be 100%.
Well, Phil, the branch. Well, one thing, I mean, this doesn't take a complete sting out of it, but you did earn the title of Athlete of the Year on the Flex Awards last night. I think that was a testament to the will and determination that Branch has shown, not just this year coming back from injury, which I think is a feat in itself, but throughout your entire career and your work ethic, I think, which a lot of these champions on this panel admire very much. But everybody knows Branch's story, obviously, by now coming back from that horrific leg injury. It would have taken out almost anybody outside of a career. Comes back, defends his title at the Arnold, gets back on the Olympia stage, and still a top 5 finish. Congratulations, Branch. Thank you.
No, I think that what happened, man. You know, you're proud about it, when you man up and overcome it. You know, I mean, I got hurt. I mean, instead of sitting around crying about it, you know, 2 days later after surgery, I was like, man, you know what? I'm overcoming this. And I told my wife, I had surgery on Monday. I got hurt on a Saturday, had surgery Monday morning. Wednesday morning, I'm sitting on the couch with my leg over in a cast. And, you know, most people be feeling sorry for themselves. You know, it was like 30 days from the injury, all this. And, you know, about me, man, I just got pissed. And I was like, F this, man, I'm overcoming. And I told Trish, I said, I'm gonna do the Arnold. I'm gonna defend my title. She said, okay.
She knows you by now.
So, you know, it's actually got a picture, man. She took a picture, I think, right then. For something that my bulldog he was sitting there laying with me at his foot on the table too. So, you know, that's what I did, man. I just, you know, the doctor advised me, man, there's no way you can do it, but you know, you have faith in your Lord God and faith in yourself and overcome. That's the name of the game. So, overcome is a place to do. I'll be back next year. You ain't seen the last week.
I just want to end by hold tight. Because as I get down here, folks, the story behind the stories, of course, is always what we're talking about when it comes to Olympia weekend. We see the contest unfold in front of us, but one of the great stories of Olympia weekend is the comeback of former Mr. Olympia, Dexter Jackson. The Blade is in the house. Well, Dex is your good friend Phil Heath, likes to refer to you as nice job, old man. Dex, the consummate professional, again, an Olympia winner. Like Phil said, only 13 people have one of those, and you have one of those.
Yes, I do. And just like Adela said, man, it's you know, coming from a bantamweight to win the Mr. Olympia title is something that I could never ever dreamt of doing. I forget about the dream of doing something like that, right? It's incredible. I've been blessed by God to be able to do this. So I'd like to give praise to God for giving me the strength and the courage and all that stuff, man, and be able to do this every day. And you guys for coming out and supporting me and sending all the emails and all the social media stuff, man, because that stuff helped me a lot. I'm an old dude right now. Phil calls me old man all the time. That's cool. I'm like his daddy. I tell you, still got a little similar back behind his ear.
But hang on, Dex. Let me just catch up for a second. But while Phil's got a microphone over there, Phil, what do you think of your buddy, the old man down here, holding his own out there with you young bucks on the Olympia stage and working his way to the top 4?
You know what? I saw him from afar, and he'll tell you, I walked all the way over to him, and I was like, dang, man, you actually like brought it.
You were shocked by that.
Did I not say that? I told him, I was like, man, you look good, bro. And he was like, yeah, you know, young buck. You know how Dexter talk.
No, actually, I want to hear Dexter talk. Let's hear everything on the
You can't talk like that in here. Yeah, man. That's like barbershop talk. You don't know people about what barbershop talk is. But nah, Dexter, it was pretty awesome because even on that stage, I was able to like look at him directly across and see. I mean, it sounds weird to some people, but Dexter Jackson has one of the most beautiful physiques I've ever seen. And to see how round he was, He's just so well put together, and I was there, and I was like, damn, dude, like, okay. Okay. You know, it can get real ugly up in here, you know, and he did say at the press conference that he was going to bring it, and, you know, he did, and I got to give him props because, you know, at how old? Well, anyway, but ultimately, I mean, he's gone through multiple eras of bodybuilding. You know, you got to think, he went through Ronnie Coleman era, Jay Cutler, and now here.
Larry Scott, Arnold.
See that?
Yeah, we have a surgical boy.
Yeah, right. But seriously though, I mean,
68.
Sean Ray, Erin, Vince Taylor, competed his own.
Yeah, I mean, he competed against all the greats, you know, and that's pretty cool to say that a bantamweight turned Mr. Olympia and to also stay relevant, you know, even at that size. He never compromised size, you know, for conditioning and all this other stuff. He knew who he was, and he stayed there. Even when he lost, he stayed who Dexter Jackson was, and I think that deserves, you know, a lot of respect, because sometimes when you lose to like a bigger guy, you think, oh, I gotta get bigger. Not Dexter, he was like, you know, I'm just gonna stay the same and refine and refine and refine, and that's why I think he has one of the most greatest physiques of all time. And he's definitely a Hall of Famer in my book. And last night I got a glimpse of that, and it definitely excited me because, you know, let's face it, man. I mean, you know, we got some legends on this panel, and last night we saw some on that stage. And sometimes in life you need to take things in, and that was one of those breathtaking moments to see someone, you know, kind of get. Some people kind of maybe forgot about Dexter with their own classic and all this other stuff, and then he comes at the Olympia, and really he's still relevant. And that's just awesome. And I know he's working very, very hard, you know, for next year too. So Dexter, you old son of a gun, you definitely brought it, man. And you know, and I've always told you have one of the greatest physiques. You know, very good to look at, and you know, you're awesome, dude. It's definitely crazy because I don't think I'll be on that stage, you know, at 50 years old, but
I won't be on that stage at 50 years old either.
But no, man, seriously, man, I ain't gonna give you a backhanded compliment, man. I mean, seriously, you killed it, you look great, and you know, my hat goes off to you because, you know, you've been in the game for a long time, and it gives guys like me, you know, thinking I can actually continue to improve and to refine, you know, later in my career and never give up.
Right.
Good job.
Well, first, thank you.